Good afternoon, guys. Mr. Kirk here, back with another number sense tips and tricks video. Today's topic is going to be 1.27, multiplying two numbers near 100. This is a great lesson. This is one of my favorites, mainly because when you don't know this trick and you get these types of problems, they generally take about 30 seconds to a minute to be able to solve them in your head. However, if you know what the trick is, these are very quick 5 to 10 second solves, and it's very quick to learn. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So over the past few weeks, you guys have been learning different methods on how to tackle different multiplication problems. And what you're about to learn is how to tackle multiplication problems that revolve around the numbers being near the number 100. And for this lesson, our number of the day is going to be 10,000. We're going to relate all of these types of problems to the number 10,000 because 100 times 100 equals 10,000. So this number right here is our starting point. Now that we know what our starting point is, what do we do with it? Take a look at numbers 3 and 5 on BryantHeath.com, problem set 1.27. On number 3, 103 times 109. Guys, once you know the trick, these problems are brain dead easy. Here's the trick. You know it's going to be a number slightly greater than 10,000. 1 is a write down. The next two digits are the sum of these two numbers. And the final two digits are these two numbers multiplied together. And that is it. And I'm going to draw something else just under it for reference. A plus sign and a multiplication sign. That's the entire lesson for two numbers greater than 100. The first number that's a write down is a 1. The next two numbers are the sum of these two numbers. The last two numbers are these two numbers being multiplied together. So now, try number 5 yourself. Based on what you just saw, what should be the answer for 103 times 107? Pause the video, take a few moments. All right, let's work it out. 103 times 107. 1 is a write down. 3 plus 7 is 10. 3 times 7 is 21. And guys, if you know that trick, that is a 5-second problem that can save you so much time on the test to work toward other problems. Let's check our answer and see how we did. 103 times 107. 11,021. Okay, so I think we can all agree that number 3 and 5 are straightforward. The next types of problems aren't as straightforward looking, but the thought process remains the same. When I'm using this trick that we just learned on number 3 to solve, what exactly am I doing? Well, I'm going to write a 3 here and a 9 here. I'm taking the total distance that this number is from 100, which is 3, and this number's total distance from 100, which is 9, and then I'm adding them, and then I'm multiplying them. What happens if both numbers are below 100? Let's say 96 times 97. You have to keep the same thought process. How far is 96 from 100? Well, it's 4 units away, or 4 digits away. How far is 97 from 100? It's 3. 3 units away. So for these types of problems, a lot of things are going to remain the same, but there will be a few changes. This time, this number is going to be slightly less than 10,000. So this number, 1, is not a write down. It's probably going to be a number somewhere in the 9,000s. These two numbers, 3 and 4, the distance that these numbers are away from 100, will again be multiplied together, just like here, to give you 12. That's the that's the last two digits, the ones place and the tens place. And then finally, you're going to add these two digits together, 4 and 3, to get 7. You're going to subtract that from 100 to give you your answer of 9,312. So let's run that back a few more times because that was a little bit different. How do you work through that fast? Take a look at number 4. 93 times 97. Okay, so in my head, this is 7 units from 100. This is 3 units from 100. My write down is 7 times 3 is 21. That's the tens and the ones place. And then I'm going to add these two numbers together and then subtract them from 100. 9,021 should be my answer. Let me check real quick and see how close I am. So from my experience on a number sense test in the first 40 problems, here's what normally happens. Normally, you'll get a question like number 3 or number 5 where both numbers are over 100. These are the very straightforward problems with a very easy trick where you just take the sum and then multiply them and then those are your digits. 75% of the time, this is what you're going to see on the number sense test, these types of problems. It'll usually happen in questions 20 through 40. The other 25% of the time, the test writer might be mean and give you some questions that look like this. And in that case, you do have to know the trick and know how to work it the other way around. So I would be prepared and know both of these tricks when the numbers are above 100 or below 100. However, before we conclude this video, there is the possibility, maybe even on a regional test, of one final trick. Take a look at number 20, 103 times 96. This time, one number is above 100, the other number is below 100. So how do you go about this? Your first step still remains the same. Find the distance that these two numbers are from 100. Well, this is 3 away. This is 4 away. For your first two digits, which are the tens place and the ones place, you are again going to multiply them together and get 12, but your write down will not be 12. You're going to subtract 12 from 100 to get your write down of 88. Okay, so this is a significant difference between these problems. The write down is no longer 12, the multiplication of these two. The write down number is the multiplication of these two subtracted from 100. The next digits are going to be as follows. You're going to take the larger digit, which is 103. You are going to subtract from that the other digit's value that it is away from 100, which is 4, and then you are going to subtract 1 from that as well. 103 minus 4 minus 1. This gives you, I believe, 98. So our answer should be 9,888. Let's check our answer and see how we did. 103 times 96, 9,888. So, number 20 being the hardest problem, this is your one to end on in the video. Take a look at number 21. Your challenge problem is 93 times 103. Pause the video. What do you think the answer should be for number 21? Let's check our answer and see how we did. 103, this is 3 digits away from 100. 93 is 7. I'm going to multiply them together to get 21. I am then going to subtract that from 100 to get 79 as my first digit. My next digit should be 103 minus 7 minus 1. So essentially 103 minus 8. This will give me 95. Just like that, we're finished. Our answer should be 9,579. Bam, 9,579. Thank you guys for taking this time to watch this video. Hopefully now you feel equipped to tackle problem set 1.27. Do your best, and as always, go Cats.